Hey y'all, I'm Mayer Cunningham, the special education boss. If you've ever felt confused, overwhelmed, or just plain frustrated at the 504 IEP table, you are in the right place. Every week, I'm breaking down the rules, the rights, and the realities of special education so you can walk into meetings informed, empowered, and ready to make real change. And whether you're a parent, a teacher, an advocate, a school-based member, or somebody who's just trying to do right by a student, this podcast gives you straight talk, real answers, and tools that you can use immediately. I'm not here to play politics. I'm not here to play sides. I'm here to train people who sit at the table and teach you how to follow the law, ask the right questions, and protect the rights of students. So go ahead and hit subscribe, share this with a friend, and you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change. We're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. Hey everyone, welcome back. We are so excited for you to be hearing the show today. We have our wonderful guest, Rachel, Miss Garden State volunteer, and she is going to share with us how that came to be and how she has impacted other people's lives based upon how her life is impacted. So Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about you.
I am 27 years old. I live in New Jersey, and right now I am Miss Garden State Volunteer. In November, I'll be competing for Miss New Jersey Volunteer with the Miss Volunteer America system. And my serve initiative is called Learn Disabilities Endless Possibilities, and it's to advocate, educate, and partner so that all students with learning disabilities can thrive based on my learning disabilities since 5th grade.
Yeah, so tell us about your struggle in school with finding services and support and kind of how that went.
Probably around 5th grade, my mom realized that something wasn't right. My grades were slipping, but I studied very hard for every single test and every single quiz that the outcome wasn't what I should have gotten. So she decided to be my advocate and go to the guidance counselor and was like, look, something's not right. I want her tested. I got tested. And ever since then, I had the resources I need from elementary school up until high school. High school changed a little bit only because I had to advocate for myself. My mom wasn't there anymore for me. So I had to do it myself, but I ended up getting the resources I need in order to, succeed in the growth of elementary school to high school.
When you talk about the resources I need, and as much as you can remember being 9 or 10, once your mom and the school got you tested and services started, how did that look different during the day?
So from what I can remember specifically, I was in just general ed classes, but I always had a second teacher in the class so that if I needed extra help or the teacher couldn't come to me right away, I was able to ask that second teacher. I also had extra time on tests and quizzes and less answers on tests and quizzes. I tend to second guess myself a lot on everything. So that was a great help because then I saw my test scores change dramatically in a good way. But those were specifically some of the resources I ended up getting that I loved and that I needed specifically.
So that obviously literally changed your life. And so is that part of your platform now? And tell us what that looks like.
Yes, so I started my pageant journey 2 years ago and I started with the Miss America organization, and then I moved to the Volunteer America organization. And what we have to do is basically come up with a serve initiative on something that truly matters to you. And because my mom was my biggest advocate and I want to be there for other students with learning disabilities, I was like, why not? Let's create something that I can use for the good of a community. So that's why I created Learn Disabilities Endless Possibilities, because again, having a learning disability shouldn't be one mold. You should be able to do what you want in life. And I'm going for a doctorate of physical therapy eventually. And I was really bad at science. So that's something that I love to do now. And Endless Possibilities is just, it's endless possibilities that a student with learning disability can have.
Right. And so one of the things I always say is children have capacity, right? And that's something we can't measure with the test. But I do know that when we give kiddos supports, they flourish. And so playing advocate, what do you think the outcome would have been if your mom didn't get you the support you need or, advocated for that?
I recently have started to think about this because I know a lot of families and students don't have those resources or those advocates themselves. So knowing that if I didn't have that, I don't think I would have, gotten the grades that I gotten at that point and where I am now going to school for physical therapy to get my doctorate and being able to use my platform for good. But I'm grateful for my mom, and that's why I want to turn this around and show other kids that it's okay to speak up if you have a learning disability.
Awesome. Do you do events? Do you do trainings with schools? Do you have like, are you at educational events? How would somebody know about you?
So right now, I'm starting to partner with other people. So I have a couple meetings with Learning Disabilities of New Jersey coming up. So we're going to try to partner and try to figure out what's going on. But I also love going to schools and talk to students about learning disabilities. I will be speaking at FDU in New Jersey soon. So I'm hoping to kind of spread the awareness of learning disabilities. And I eventually want to talk to the governor of New Jersey as well because I know she's an advocate for learning disabilities as well.
That's so good. Kind of listening to Rachel talk, it's disability is something that identifies where there's a deficit. And the good thing about identifying it is that we can teach strategies around that. It doesn't mean can't, it just means different, right?
Mhm.
And so um, if you're listening and you're a student or a teenager or a parent, get the resources your child needs, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable. Those successes, just like Rachel, are going to serve your child for the next 80 years after they
Mhm.
graduate high school. And so it's completely worth it. So when you go out and meet with people, do you ever meet other individuals with disabilities?
Yes, so I recently have just met some other pageant friends that also have learned disabilities that I never knew had them. And then once they heard my talent, which is her story, which I talk about my learned disability, they showed me that they have one as well. And now they're not afraid to speak up as well. So I also have family members like outside of my immediate family that also have learned disabilities. So it's fun to see them coming to me and ask me questions about, okay, how was your meeting when you were in elementary school? Like, did you attend your meeting? Like all these type of questions. And I'm excited to now go out there even further into the community and show them that learning disability is something that we need to talk about more often.
Awesome. Awesome. So do you remember when I think you said that in high school you started going to your meetings, or did you always go to IEP meetings, if you can remember?
So I went to my first meeting in elementary school with my mom. They asked if I wanted to be there, and I said, sure, why not? It was good so that I understood what was going on eventually in my classrooms, that I needed that second teacher, and that teacher was always going to be there. But now in high school, it was very different. I just got tested. I never really had that meeting that often, which now looking back, I think I should have. But things happen, and this is why I have my serve initiative, Learn Disabilities Endless Possibilities, for a reason, so that parents can understand that having meetings quite frequently is something that you need to be doing, especially if something's not working right for the student and you need to go fix and change it.
Right, and that's so good. We just had a training on this. Often we hear educators or school-based members say, "Well, I inherited this IEP," or and that's we always say that the IEP is our best informed guess, right?
Hmm.
But things change. There's maturation, or there's regression, and so I think it's paramount that we have those conversations and those meetings as needed, so that kiddos can get support. Talking about transition, which is what we call under the law for high school, which says that we don't just graduate kiddos with exceptionalities or disabilities, but that we put a transition supplement in place. That's called a list, a set of coordinated activities. Do you remember in high school if you had a transition plan?
So I actually just got my high school like IEP like full packet not that long ago, and I've been out of high school for almost 10 years now. So this was my first time reading the full thing, and it's sad to say, but unfortunately, from eighth grade to high school, the transition from what the paper said wasn't great. The eighth grade teachers and guidance counselors, they were on maternity leave, so nothing transferred to high school. So about halfway through freshman year, that's when I realized that I wasn't getting the things I needed, like something wasn't right. So that's when I spoke up to the guidance counselor, and they're like, "Oh yeah, nothing transferred from eighth grade into this high school now," and which is upsetting and sad to know, but that's why I want to bring the light to learning disabilities, because people need to understand that it's a transition and it needs to follow the student. It shouldn't just stop.
Right. Really good what you're saying. So one of the things that we train on is for parents, because teachers who are amazing and walk on water and are overworked and underpaid don't always get paperwork. They don't, whether it's a software issue, often districts will go from, we were using this software and now we're using another software. And districts have thousands and thousands of kiddos. So what I recommend to families is that you print out a full copy of your student's IEP and then put a one page with it. What do I mean by that? Like a summary, right? This is what Rachel needs. This is how she learns best. This is good when she's doing testing, and give that to every single person that will be providing your child an educational product this year, right? The PE teacher, the ROTC teacher, art, band, whatever it is, because even when they do get it, it's just a portion of it. And just like you wouldn't go, oh, look, Rachel, I want to show you my car. This is the steering wheel. Yeah, but can I see the rest? It's the steering wheel. And so do that for your educators. That way, back to school night, you give them that picture of your student, your contact information, and it'll start out your year much better. So I think it's amazing, Rachel, that you realize that, but most kiddos would not realize that or wouldn't speak up for themselves, right? And so we need to make sure that we're supporting the schools by getting that information as well. So if you had one thing to leave with people after meeting them, what would that be?
Ooh, going back to it, that learning disabilities isn't part of your story, or it's not your whole story, it's just part of your story. There's more to me or someone else that has a learning disability than just it's the learning disability itself. It's not a label, it's something that, not like if I go meet someone, be like, oh, I have a learning disability, like it's automatically a label. It shouldn't be something that is labelized, and it has to become more normal to talk about.
So good. Yeah, I always say that packages have labels, children have eligibility. So so good to talk to you each time and meet with you. Remind me again when your actual competition is.
It is November 14th and 15th in Ocean City, New Jersey.
And will there be 8? How many people will be there? Like, is it, so Miss Garden City, is that actually a garden? Is that a city in New Jersey?
So it's Garden State. So it's okay. New Jersey is called the Garden State. So the reason why I picked this title is because if for some reason I don't win in November, I'm still representing New Jersey in some way as the Garden State. There are 10 or 9 other delegates that are competing against me in November. And there's different phases of competitions that we have to go through. There's interview, swimwear, evening gown, talent, and then we have to have judges. There's, I think, 5 judges, and we have to interview with 8 minutes with them, and they, score us all, and then there's a winner at the end of the night.
And they ask you some question. How could you bring about world peace?
I wish, but unfortunately, that I've never gotten that question.
That'd be so easy. Just put out snacks for everyone. Yeah. Well, we're so excited about the success that you've already had. Thank you for not wasting a challenge in your life by serving the people after you. It's so refreshing to see. So thank you for coming on. If people wanted to get a hold of you or see you at an event or a training or a professional development, how could they do that?
So I have 2 social media platforms right now. One will be Miss Garden State VOL. That's my title holder platform. And then my other one for my learning disability platform is LD_Endless Possibilities.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on, Rachel. And we're so glad to see you. We're wishing you all the best and success in November.
Thank you for having me.
Hit subscribe, share this with a friend. And you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change, we're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody.